Well, I've had a number of people ask how I make the little carvings that I do. So I'm going to try for the first time to make a video that it includes fast forwarding and cutting out sections to make the video shorter, because this does take a little while, well over a half an hour, and in some cases an hour, to make one of these little carvings. I start with you're going to need an X-Acto knife with a number 11 blade, nice and sharp. I have dental burrs, jeweler files for smoothing it. I have steel wool and sandpaper. You'll need boxwood pieces like this, tracing paper, of course, whatever you want to make a drawing of. And in the case with Pennsylvania, it's mostly off of this drawing. This is a 3.5 power reading glasses. I also use a 10 power face mask type glasses. And probably, this is not the most important, but it certainly helps a lot, is this is a Master Carver 2000. And the dental burrs fit in the end down here. The burrs, of course, are different sizes, but very small, from 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter, nothing bigger than that for my purposes. Now, should cover everything for this first one. Of course, you make your transfer here, and like this one, you flip it over and you take a soft HB or 2H pencil and heavily coat the back side of the drawing, and you'll just put it on your piece of paper like this, trace it, and it'll come out not like this. It'll come out, because this will have to be traced again. This is the second time, because the first time it's a little light. And for the purposes of this video, I will not be doing this one. I think I'll be doing this one right here. And we'll go from there. Might also want to consider trying to get a hold of this book. A bit short. This is the piece I have up here. There's a tab right here. I'll do this end last. You do that so you have something to hold on to while you're carving. Once this end is done, turn it around. You'll cut that out on the saw like I did the rest of this. Take as much off the edges as you can. Much easier. You don't have to remove a lot of material. Well, I'll take the saw, cut that out, and then hold it on this end to carve the upper end. Really the secret to this is knowing the levels you have to use. Some of the pieces are more complex than others. They have more levels. So the first thing you're going to do is determine which of these areas, the arms, the legs, this dolphin down that runs between his legs up here, or the whatever, is the high point or the low point. And from there, you'll carve down to the low point first. It's going to be more difficult as I have to put this into a holder and try and keep things in focus as I work. But I'll try the best I can. Well, I'm going to give it a try here. My narration might fade out because the carver is a little bit noisy. It's hard to see on here, so I'll try to point it out. But the fish here looks to be the high point. And the legs and the arms are the next. The chest area will be semi-recessed. The two areas where they have to go pretty deep, and it's an area right in here between his thighs here, and a little area right in here between his chest and his arm. They'll have to go in pretty deep with this pointy little bit here. Well, as you can see, I've got kind of outline. This piece in here is just deep. This will go all the way through, and for that I need a different bit. So I'll have to change out the bits. I'll come back and use the second bit to carve down the layers a little bit. Well, now you can see I've cut the tab off in here. Cut this out. Cut the shape of the head out, the beard here. In this area here, you're going to make mistakes. There's no way getting around it. I'm not a professional at this. So I made this leg here a little too thin. So I took a piece of wood, boxwood shavings, and I super glued it inside here. And now I will reshape this. Here you got the fish's head is just about finished here. I'll put the eye in, and back along the back side here there are some hard to say, spikes, I don't know, hair, whatever, in this area here. This area up in here has to go up in just a little bit inside up into here, and the beard has to have some definition made into it. The head still needs some shaping. I have to try and put eyes and a nose in there. That's really, really hard to do. That takes the longest period of time, is trying to get the head right, honestly. For some reason, you can see the fish's tail here is pretty well defined, and the arc going around here. And once I get done with everything, I'll buff it with steel wool, smooth everything out. But you can, like you said, you can see how I rounded everything off along the edges. I used a file and the tip of the X-Acto blade to do all of that. So it takes a little practice. Really gotta do your passes really, really light. If you put too much pressure on it, you'll dig in and you'll mar the surface. So do just a really, really light hand is what it really takes, more than anything else. Well, I'm going to go finish out the things that I just mentioned and get back to it. Well, I pretty much got everything all shaped up. It's rough. Now I'll take some steel wool and I'll buff it. I thought I'd show you a picture of it, what it looks like kind of before and after. It'll do. Well, you can see it's smooth. Everything's smoothed out pretty good. Looks like I might do a little more scraping on that leg off to the left there. But other than that, I should be done with it, I think. There, now I cleaned up the legs a little bit, the chest area a little bit, defined the pectoral a little bit better in that upper arm. And I might do something with the hand that's up there, hanging up there. But there's a spear, kind of not a trident, but actually a bident, if you will, that I have to make that will go in there. That'll just be a brass rod with a little fork put on the end, and I'll show when it's done with that. There we go, it's done. I just need to paint it. Well, there it is. It's done. I hope this helps some of you. I know maybe not as in-depth as I would have liked, but it's kind of hard to do with just one person. So the fingers get in the way. I just really can't demonstrate the way I need to. Perhaps sometime in the future when I have an assistant,